Greetings, blessings. Welcome back to our Mindfulness Tuesdays with Halim Ali and From the Heart Enterprises. Thank you for joining us. It is my pleasure and honor to be with you in this sacred space that has been created for the sole purpose to uplift fallen humanity, one man, one woman, and one child at a time. Tonight is our third installment of the 4 levels of consciousness. In week 1, we talked about the victim consciousness or the to-me consciousness and what it means to be a victim. And usually we would start with a word from scripture. So in keeping consistent with that practice, I will say, ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore united be with thy brother. And when ye separate into the world, prefer not a stranger before thine own blood. If thy sister is in trouble, assist her. If thy brother is experiencing misfortune, forsake him not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father be continued to you all in your love for each other. Let us take a moment to connect with the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I would ask that you come as you are. Sit in whatever position is comfortable for you. And let us take a moment to connect with the breath, breathing in through the nose, holding the breath and releasing through the mouth. So this, my beloveds, is our third installment of the 4 levels or the 4 stages of consciousness. In week 1, we talked about the victim consciousness or the to-me consciousness and what it means to be a victim. Individuals who live from this consciousness believe that something outside of themselves determines their destiny. Everything from an external deity, an external devil or shaitan, the time and place in which they were born, and any or all of these things. There is a belief that something outside yourself is determining your destiny. In this consciousness of victimhood, we feel victimized by circumstances and or situations. And as our growth process continues on a spiritual level, on a metaphysical level, we begin to realize that there are laws and universal principles which truly govern our experience, that our individual and particular perceptions, beliefs, points of view, perspectives determine our experience, and ultimately we understand the meaning of the phrase, as ye believe, so it is done unto you. Let's take a moment to breathe that in. As ye believe, so it is done unto you. And so we learn to embrace these universal laws and ultimately use them for our benefit and purpose. We become courageously bold and magnificent manifestors and co-creators. We establish intention. We begin to visualize. We begin to see the kind of world and the kind of life we want to live. As we said last week, you are not in the world, but the world is in you. You are not in the world, but the world is in you. And that, my friends, is as true today as it was 1,000 years ago, and will remain true still 1,000 years from now, because it is a universal principle. And universal principles are timeless, changeless, and everlasting. Last week, we embraced this law of manifestation through looking at the manifestor consciousness, or the by me consciousness. This is the level where we begin to visualize certain things in our lives, and we begin to embrace the power of affirmation, thereby affirming that which you want to experience in your life, as opposed to that which you do not wish to experience in our lives. And we feel it and we sense this as if it were already happening, as if it were already so. The manifestor stage is very important in that regard, because it is the foundational principle which gives us the power of belief in that which is real, a belief and a connection to omnipotence. One power, one presence, one life, and we are connected with this power through our thoughts, which, again, our thoughts are but units of mental energy that transmute themselves into speech, and then behavior, and then action. Our thoughts transmute themselves into speech, and then behavior, and then action. And then perception, and ultimately becomes our experience. And we internalize that, and as our awareness continues to evolve, we graduate into a space where we learn what it means to be a channel to make ourselves available, which is the premise of our session today. So when we come into the awareness now of stage number 3, the channel consciousness, the through me consciousness, the vehicle, the place, the opening. This is the stage where we make ourselves available to surrender. This is the space where we make ourselves available to surrender. And what does that mean in the through me consciousness? This is not a surrendering to a deity or a God or anything outside of ourselves. We are surrendering to the next stage or the next level of our own unfoldment, the next stage in our own spiritual development. The understanding of that which is vast and expansive, and that which is eternal and internal become one. Now, this particular stage, as opposed to the previous stage, the manifester stage, carries the vibration of the feminine. Words like surrender, yielding, letting, allowing. These words indicate that we are available or receptive to something. This is the channel consciousness. Stage 3. In stage 2, the manifester consciousness, it was more masculine, built around doing, making it happen. In stage 2. In stage 3, we make it welcome. So in stage 2, we make it happen. In stage 3, we make it welcome. We go from using our will to allowing the will of the universe to operate through us. But what is important here is to know and to understand that you can only surrender to the degree that you have an understanding of that you are surrendering to. What is important to know here is that you can only surrender to the degree that you have an understanding of what it is that you are surrendering to. In stage 2, we begin to understand universal law. We begin to understand that the presence neither compromises nor contradicts its own nature. It is lawful as well as loving. And within each insight that we have, we become more available to let go and let God. We begin to let go and let love. We begin to let go and let prosperity. We begin to let go and let brilliance, let go and let abundance happen in our lives, which is a greater understanding and a greater awareness. In stage 3, which is the beginning of visioning, you may not realize it, but you are living in the state of a question which catapults you into a moment of expansion beyond your current and or present paradigm. We begin living in the state of a question which catapults you into a moment of expansion beyond your current and or present paradigm. So the manifestation level, you have motivation. On the channel level, you have inspiration. What is the difference, my beloveds, between motivation and inspiration? Motivation pushes, inspiration pulls. Motivation pushes and inspiration pulls. Motivation comes from without, as in terms of a coach, as in terms of a dietitian, someone telling you what you should do. And this is not bad energy. It just becomes more external energy. Inspiration, on the other hand, pulls, and this is what we experience in the channel consciousness. Inspiration. When you see something that inspires you, or you experience something that inspires you or invigorates you, that touches something deep within your soul, and there is a reverential awareness of it, and it takes your breath away. Something like an aha moment, like a sunset or a mountain landscape or a beautiful body of water. That, my friends, is inspiration. And it pulls you into a much more expanded point of view. Stage 2, manifestor realm, is motivational. Stage 3, the channel realm, inspirational. And the characteristics: feminine, yielding, open, available, receptive, letting, allowing, and surrender. The manifestor stage, our second level of consciousness, equals masculine, where we just do it. Motivate yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, where you have a powerful will to get it done, to make it happen. And though there is nothing wrong with that stage, there is indeed more power in stage number 3, the channel consciousness. Because here we are now surrendering to that which we cannot control. We are now surrendering to that which we cannot control. Be mindful from stage 2, coming into stage 3, because we have to give up control. That's the transformation and the transmutation which takes place. We're letting go of control. Stage 2, where you may have dominion over your intention, You are controlling the outcome through your perception and your visualization. Stage 3, you're letting go of control, and you are no longer attached to outcomes because the outcome is usually much bigger than what you can visualize or what you can see in your mind's eye, which leads to an awareness of the hierarchy of questions. And these, my beloved, these sacred teachings cannot be taught, for they must be caught. This mindfulness session and all of the preceding sessions and all of the future sessions, the sacred information therein cannot be taught. It must be caught in the consciousness, and then they are cultivated, thus becoming active and embodied. And we begin to know these things on a cellular level. So as we enter into the through me consciousness, we view money as abundant. We view money only as an energy and not a thing. The measurement therein is irrelevant. In the through me consciousness, we view time as plentiful. We view time, there is only now. There is no past or future, only the present in the through me consciousness. In this third level of consciousness, we view happiness as it is always here now. It has a deep, lasting quality, and we relax into the joy therein. In this level of consciousness, our discipline is effortless. In the through me consciousness, having and delaying gratification are equals. Having and delaying gratification are the same. In this through me consciousness, purpose. We view our purpose as transcendental. We view our purpose, no more are we wanting anything, for all things are supplied to us in abundance and in plenitude. In this through me consciousness, this channel consciousness, we view leadership only as it arises in response to present need. No one is the leader in this consciousness. No one is the leader in co-creation. And when we look at our preference, we listen for preference, and we are not attached to the choice. We do not give it meaning, titles, or names. It just is because it is. Channelers are thus aware of being a vehicle of the spirit and live from this sense of ultimate surrender. So as we move from stage 2 to stage 3, my people, In stage 2, we make it happen. In stage 3, we make it welcome. In stage 2, we do it. In stage 3, we surrender to it. In stage 2, we're motivated. In stage 3, we're inspired. Stage 2 is about mind power. Stage 3 is life intelligence. Stage 2 is visualization. Stage 3 is envisioning. Stage 2 is manifestation. Stage 3 is emergence. Stage 2 is where you use the law. Stage 3 is where the law uses you. Stage 2 is where we are planning. Stage 3 is where we are yielding to divine order. Stage 2 is characterized by masculine words. Do it, proactive, act, or manifest. Stage 3 is characterized by feminine words. Yielding, allowing, letting, and surrender. Let us take a moment to connect with our breath. Let us take a moment to become that channel, that beacon of light that shines upon all humanity, that shines upon all nature, that shines upon the entire cosmos and universe. And as we come back into the room, releasing all of the negative energy and the victim consciousness, graduating into the manifestor consciousness, and evolving into the channel or the vehicle or the through me consciousness. And as we become one with our breath, we know that we are becoming one with all of creation. I am Halim Ali, and this has been Mindfulness Tuesdays from the Heart Enterprises. Gratitude, so it is.